everybody. How are you doing? Pardon my appearance. It's been already a long Saturday. I'm going to stop calling this the Tracy Show, the Saturday edition. I'm just going to start calling this the Silly Saturday Show. I think that's what I'm going to come up with. So I will start trying to call this the Silly Saturday Show instead of the Saturday edition of the Tracy Show. No, that doesn't work for me. And sorry, my meter is going off today because um my blood sugar's a little high. Um, but hello everybody. Hello. Welcome. I am so sorry I am late. Um, I'm trying to get myself positioned so I can turn the vibrator on this machine of mine. So sorry everybody. Give me a couple seconds here. I hope everybody's doing well today. Oh, come on. Oh, we're just gonna not have a good time today. I hope everybody's doing well today. Um, it's Saturday, October the 19th, and let me tell you something before we get started. This has been a extremely busy Saturday. It started at about 8 o'clock this morning. I went to a retreat at church that lasted till 1. Then I just got off a call with volunteers for the Cornell West campaign. That just ended, which is why I'm late. Okay, and that's why I'm late today. And tonight I have a episode of Congratulations to Cornell West, 47th President of the United States. And then I have a slumber party, virtual slumber party tonight fundraiser. It's just been a busy day. Oh, and tomorrow is our Women's Day at church. So, yay, all this busy. But I'm glad you could join me. You see the show's topic. We're going to talk about TV shows that jump the shark. But first, I need to pay a couple of bills. I just got to type a couple things in here that I forgot. And okay. So first, please subscribe. Yeah, I know part of my appearance is terrible, but you're going to see a whole different me at 7. Anyway, you're going to see Bonnet. Just know you're going to see I'm going to look totally different. But anyway, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to tell you how many subscribers I have and how many away from 300 that I am. So I will know here in just a moment how many subscribers am I away from 300. Because, I wanted to get to 300 before the end of the month. I may not hit that, but I still got time. Okay, so I have 287. I'm still 13 away from I'm still 13 away from 300. So if there's 13 of you out there that have not subscribed to this show, please do. It's 13 people that I need so I can do my 300 subscriber show. Please. Subscribing literally costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. Nothing will it cost you. 13 away from 300. I have over 500 videos, but only less than 300 likes. So please, I'm begging at this point. I'm only 13 away from 300. I know we can do it. I know we can. Please follow me on Rumble. I'm still waiting for that 5th follower on Rumble so that I can go live on Rumble. Support me on Patreon. Patreon support starts at $2 a month. That's 50 cents a week when there's 4 weeks in a month. Subscribing helps me to keep this StreamYard live. It helps me to keep my Zoom. It helps me to pay for my website, which someday I will get back. So please consider contributing. Remember to like this podcast. That helps us in the algorithm. Remember to share this podcast with as many as you possibly can. Comment. You can comment live. Please comment live so I know I'm not by myself. I see people watching, but I haven't seen any comments come up yet. So please comment. And please note that the Destroy the Duopoly Awards are December the 14th, 2024 p.m. at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The ballot is right there. Please fill it out before, I think the deadline's like November the 30th. So I'll be talking about this unique award show, dishonoring those that deserve to be dishonored. So the Destroy the Duopoly Awards are December the 14th, 2024 at 6 o'clock p.m. Let's get this show started. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Guys. Okay, I had to kind of make that look better. You see the title? TV shows that have jumped the shark. So, in case you don't know what the term jump the shark is, I'm just gonna, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Haha, tablet. So, this actually comes from an episode of Happy Days. If I can remember this. The Fonz was challenged to jump over a shark by snooty white kid or rich kid or something. And I don't know. I mean, it was something to do with Fonzie jumping over the shark. Wait a minute, backtrack. So they had visited California because somebody discovered the Fonz in something and wanted to put him in a movie. But what had happened was Richie actually tested better, and they said, Fonz, no, let's put Richie in the movie. And so Fonzie was feeling kind of down on himself. So this rich kid whose girlfriend was dating the Fonz challenged him to jump over this shark. Now, keep in mind, he jumped over the shark, but he had like on his leather jacket and jumped over a shark in a cage. So I'm going to play that clip. And again, I want to share this so bad, but YouTube is just like, nah, we not having this. Y'all already know I'm going to go off on YouTube not liking me sharing clips. And I'm going to try not to rush through this show because, again, I want to take my time. There's a lot of shows to discuss, but I definitely want to talk in depth about some of these shows. So I just type Fonzie jumps the shark. Oh shoot, I went to the wrong one. I went to YouTube TV because I have YouTube as my streaming service. Goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm getting there, y'all. I promise. Um, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna play the 39-second clip. I had to. Now Richie, of course, is driving the boat. Oh, the shark isn't in a cage. I thought the shark was in a cage. And I love how they played the Jaws music. So if you don't know, that's the point when Happy Days started to go down. It's the point in a show where you know, ooh, it's time for this show to go off the air. There are very few shows that have never jumped. There are very few shows that jumped from like the time that they started. But each of the shows I've named, I'll tell you which one it is. Whether it jumped from the start, whether it jumped, um, whether it jumped or it never jumped, or something like that. So I'll give the distinction. So there's a couple of shows. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think which one I want. Well, let's just start with Happy Days. It's right there. So Happy Days actually didn't jump the shark when Fonzie jumped the shark. Happy Days jumped the shark when Richie left. Once Ron Howard was out, it was like, ooh, this show isn't the same, right? Because you needed both of them, right? Because they played off of each other so well. Like, once Richie got in and they added Jefferson from Married with Children, I'm like, oh no, this show is not the same. Take this off. I mean, it went on like 3 seasons too long. And I don't know why my back is killing me. Um, it should have ended like season, let's see, I think it lasted 10 years. It should have ended around season 7. I think that's when Richie left. But it just went on too long. Fonzie gets engaged. He adopts a child. He goes to college. He's a college professor. They sing pump up the song. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, this one I'm playing. This one I'm playing. Cause they jumped so many times, right? Um, sorry guys, this thing in my tooth is just annoying me. Okay. Yeah, I gotta play this song. Yeah, this one. Happy Days is probably one of those shows that jumped a lot. Because they added a cute kid, Chachi. Well, I mean, he wasn't a baby, but he added a kid. Then they had Richie Lee, which is where I ultimately think they jumped the shark. Then they had the Fonz be like a college teacher. But did he graduate college or did he teach high school? But this is another time where they jumped the shark. Oh, come on, y'all. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I know this song. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I hate to use the tablet. Um, but this is another time I was like, you know what? If they don't take this show off, oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. Now my internet's acting. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't know what's wrong. So we're gonna use my phone because my tablet. So this song, we're not gonna play Jump the Shark twice. We're gonna play this.
Like they say in Home Ec 101, the proof is.
Oh, okay. So set this scene up. So Ralph, Potsy, and I think Richie are in college. And this professor is accusing Potsy of cheating. And, well, you'll hear the rest of it. And if you can hear this, press 1. If not, press 2. So.
Potsy Weber knows this material better than anybody in his class. And he didn't learn it from you or your intimidating methods. He learned it from something he could relate to.
Weber can relate to something?
Now, just a minute. Yeah, that's right. He relates to music and lyrics.
Yeah. Charming, but impossible.
All right, hold it. Like they say in Home Ec 101, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, let us show you some pudding.
Right, let him show you. Why don't you give him a chance?
Go ahead.
All right, now, like we rehearsed it. Mal, get the bone. Got it. All right, Rich, you got your harmonica there. Hey, Jennifer, be good, right? Got your kazoo there? Yeah.
Why are they getting all this stuff to sing the song?
This called Pump Your Blood.
This is so terrible.
1, 2, 3.
Pumps your blood. The right atrium's where the process begins, where the CO2 blood enters the heart. Through the tricuspid valve to the right ventricle, the pulmonary artery.
Why are they clapping their hands?
Inside the lungs, it dumps its carbon dioxide and picks up its oxygen supply. Then it's back to the heart, through the pulmonary vein, through the atrium and left ventricle.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna make y'all listen to the whole thing.
Arteries and capillaries to bring the oxygenated blood to the cells. Tissues in the cells feed off waste and CO2, which is carried through the venules and the veins, through the larger vena cava to the atrium and lungs, and we're back to where we started in the heart.
Why did they yell out yeehaw?
It's like being in the Ziegfeld Valley.
Weber, I apologize.
What in the entire bleep was that? Pump your blood. I don't know whether Fonzie actually jumping the shark made the show jump the shark or whether it was this. It's one of the two. I know that's where they got the term jumping the shark from, was from Fonzie actually jumping the shark. But, ooh, that song. That's wow. Wow. It's like, another thing about Jump the Shark, it's like when they run out of stories to tell, or they're constantly telling the same story over and over again. So a lot of shows ran into this thing, and there's too many shows, so I'm just going to name the category, and I'm not going to go deep into deep details about each of the shows because they all fall under these categories. So, you know, show has jumped the shark when they add an annoying child. And I'm talking about a child that's like not a baby, but they're like a larger child, I guess. or they're an older child. They're older child. So a lot of shows fell into this category. You had Married with Children that added 7. You had Good Times that added Penny. The Brady Bunch added Cousin Oliver. Different Strokes added Sam. Facts of Hey Parker, put those shows in there you think to jump the shark so I can talk about. Facts of Life added what was the name of that kid they added in the Facts of Life? I can't think of the not the girl, not Jerry the comedian. I'm talking about the other little kid. So when a show would add a child, you knew it was like take it off, take it off. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I said Penny with Good Times 7, Married with Children. Um, oh boy, there's a bunch more I can't even think of. But this one also works. Adding a baby. But the baby changes from a baby in the first season that they're on the show, and then all of a sudden the baby's like 5 years old. Okay, so Parker, when a TV show jumps the shark, that means it's time for the show to go off. It's over. It's done with. Write the last episode. Let's wrap this up because this show is over. Hope that explains it. So, when a show adds a baby, and I'm gonna get to my thought here, but he has another question. Oh, like changing a major part of the story that's unnecessary? Yes. Um. So another example is when a show adds a baby. The first season of the show that the baby is on, baby's like a baby, and then the very next season, the child is like 5 years old. Growing Pains. Growing Pains did this. Family Ties did this. Oh, wait a minute, let me backtrack. So adding a cute kid to the show. Let me go back to that one and then I'll get to the baby. So I said Penny from Good Times, Cousin Oliver, the Raven Simone character in the Cosby Show, 7 from Married with Children, Sam from Different Strokes, that one kid in the Facts of Life that I can't name. Growing Pains also did it, but he was more like a teenager. Luke, the homeless kid, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Just like, why are you adding? And the kid never added anything to the show. It was like, ooh, this was done already. But back to the baby. So the babies that aged from their first season to their second, like I said, Growing Pains, Family Ties. Who else had a baby on the shows? On their shows. I was gonna say the Cosby Show when Felicia Rashad was pregnant, but I don't remember them adding her pregnancy into the. No, they didn't add her pregnancy into the show. Growing Pains, Family Ties. I know it was more than 2 shows that did this. Wait a minute. Nah. Because I know it was more than 2 shows that did this. Nope. Television shows that added babies to the cast. TV shows that added babies. TV shows that jumped the shark when they added babies. Oh my gosh. I can't even think. I know it's more than Family Tie. Um, oh man, there was Growing Pains with Chrissy. There was Family Ties with Nick. Yeah, this is. I'm gonna be sitting here thinking about this. I know it's more than those two shows that they had a baby, and the baby was a little baby, like a baby, and then, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh, I'm gonna have to come back to the baby one, cause wait a minute, um, those are the only two I can think of, and I know there's more shows, y'all, and I don't know why my back is killing me. Okay, this one, Parker. Yeah, I'm gonna get to this one. I bet there are a lot of examples of where couples in the show either break up or get a new boyfriend, girlfriend, and it throws things off. Yes. But there are some shows that literally, in my opinion, jump from day one, since I can only think of two shows where a baby was added. Although I know there's more, I just can't think of them right now. So there, like I said, there's plenty of shows that jump from like the day it came on. We're talking about shows like Homeboys in Outer Space, The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer, and it's Pfeiffer, not Pfeiffer, but Desmond Pfeiffer, because they made sure you put the P in there. I think Sister Sister jumped from day one. I mean, I couldn't with the miss identical twins switch places like every single week. Um, Another show that jumped was that Shelley Long show where she was named like Tracy, or like her first name was like Mary, and then her husband's new last name was Mary. Um, the Cheers spinoffs, except for Frasier. So you had like the Tortellis, that was terrible from day one. Saved by the Bell, the new class. Like, why did they try to put that in prime time? Like, you're taking a show that used to be on like Saturday mornings. Oh my goodness, my back is hurting. I may have to sit back. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second, guys. I'm like, ugh. Uh. Let me see if I can do this. Because this is like terrible. My back is really hurting. Ugh. Okay, so now I can lean up against here. Um, Small Wonder. That's another show that jumped from day one. I mean, think about it. The show was about a man that builds a robot that looks like a little girl. And instead of doing the flex thing and like holding them, not Flex the actor, but a flex, like, yeah, I'm about to brag on this, and saying, hey, I built this robot, and look, she looks just like a little girl. Except for she talks like this, and she does not have any emotions, but nobody even minds it. That show, oh my goodness. It was like, yeah, that's a day one jump. The spinoff to Who's the Boss with what I was going to say, Tony Braxton. Oh, look, with Holly Berry, that chick from King of Queens, the one that played Doug's wife. They were on it. That was terrible from day one. Um, I mean, there's so many shows that were just like you knew they were just gonna be bad from like the very start, and you just could like um you can't even like see you can't figure out how did these shows get on air. Y'all know I did a whole thing about Hell, Honey, I'm Home, the Adolf Hitler comedy. Yeah, that was a thing. Day one. But that was a British show, so you might not be familiar with it. Let's see. There's another show. I said, any of those UPN shows, I want to put Martin in there so bad, but Martin has some funny moments, although I don't think it's a great show. I'm not going to say it jumped from day one, but I did kind of get tired of all those characters. I'm like, okay, how many characters are you going to play? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my goodness. I know there's a lot more of this. I probably should have wrote these down because like I said, I know I can think of shows where they added a baby and it ruined it. And I know I can think of shows that jump from day one. And these are probably, that show with Morris Day. That show with Morris Day and Shirley Ralph, and he owned they owned like a hair salon. Terrible. That first Steve Harvey show where he played like a grocery store owner, that was terrible. From day one. The new I already said. Well, Saved by the Bell gets 2 honors, right? Because they had Saved by the Bell, the college years. That was terrible. And then they turned around and watched. Then they did Saved by the Bell, the new class, which was terrible. And then they did Saved by the Bell, the reboot, which was also terrible. So they've had 3 iterations of terribleness. College years, new class, reboot. I don't know if you watched The Office, but I remember when Jim and Pam had a baby in one of those last seasons, and it was unnecessary, and that was unnecessary. You know, I never watched The Office, but yeah, a baby. But did the baby age 5 years after they had the baby? Like, was it a baby? Like the first season the baby was on, and then like the second season the baby was like 5. Because that's when the show really jumps, right? Because, naturally, if a couple gets married, they're probably going to have kids. That's just the way, that's the way life works, right? You get married, you have kids. So it's not unusual, but no, I never watched The Office enough to know if they, whether it was unnecessary or not. I'll tell you what was bad, though. And Parker, you made reference to this. Will they or won't they? The couples that hates each other, they love each other, they get together, and once they get together, it's time for the show. Once they get together, it's time for the show to go off. Living Single is the best example of this. So if you've never watched Living Single, the original Friends, they had these 2 characters named Kyle and Maxine. Maxine, attorney at law. They hated each other. Hated each other. What ruined the show? Them getting together. It was like we loved watching the conflict because you knew they were going to trade barbs, right? Same thing happened with Moonlighting. Same thing happened with... It happened to Cheers, too. I forgot when... And Cheers did it twice. Because remember Sam... And when Sam and Diane got together, how the show went down. And then when Rebecca was in, they hated each other. They got together. And then the show went down again. Oh my gosh, I forgot Cheers did it twice. The total replacement of characters. Now this happens for several reasons. One, the actor in real life passes away. That's something you can't avoid. I would prefer they just wrote the character off and just, address it that way. But for some reason, they'll bring in a new actor to play the actor that deceased. And you can't do that because we've watched that actor, who unfortunately passed away, play that character, and so like we're vested in that actor, not this new actor. It's not the new actor's fault. They're trying to get money. They're trying to pay their rent. They're trying to, pay their bills and whatever. But just and soap operas are really, really good at this. And I'm like, just write the character off. Dallas did it when Jock Ewing died. Knox Landing did it. Dynasty did it. Falcon Crest. Like, they all did that thing. Like, when the actor passed away in real life, they was like, nope, we're going to recast it. Don't do that. Or they fire the actor, right? That's a jump. Another jump is when the actor goes on strike. Now, this Sanford and Son is the one that I can think of. When Red Fox went on strike, they said, oh, well, the show had better ratings. But it wasn't the same, right? Because Fred G. Sanford, and the G is for gotta be dumb to think this is gonna work. You're sitting there and you're like, wait a minute, something's off. Like, he made that show. And without him, like, once he returned, it wasn't the same. Yes, the Grady episode with where they thought they was growing, Rollo thought that Grady was growing marijuana, and it ended up being parsley. It was funny, but it was like, nah, y'all missing Fred. Another show that did it, but it didn't quite jump, was All in the Family. Carol O'Connor, I don't know if he went on strike or had a movie or something he was doing where he wasn't on the show, and he was like, ooh, this isn't the same. Ooh, this isn't the same. It was kind of like when Golden Girls, when Dorothy wasn't in the episode, and you were like, ugh, Golden Palace. Like, but there were some episodes of Golden Girls she wasn't in. I'm like, ooh, this ain't the same. This is not the same. Ugh, why are they doing it? Also, what parent is like, go ahead, use my newborn baby in your TV show? Parents that want to make their children stars. And imagine that kids grows up to find out they were using the show. They're going to be wanting some money from that. Parker, boy, are you talking about something that Gary Coleman talked about? Gary Coleman. What you talking about, Willis? Parents back in the day used to put their kids in movies and movies or TV shows, and there wasn't a lot of rules that would guide them, right? Because there just wasn't rules for children actors. Children would work, didn't go to school. The parents could use the money how they wanted to. At least now, children, which is probably why you haven't noticed a lot of children in shows like that. Now they'll make the whatever money they make off of their movie or their TV show, they put it in a trust, and that child can't access that trust fund until they're like 18. Because some of these parents are just leeches. I mean, to hear what Gary Coleman's parents did to him and Danny Bonaducci's parents, it just makes me sad, right? It's like, oh, how do you do that to your own child, your own flesh and blood? But, money isn't evil itself, but the love of money is certainly the root of all evil. And everybody, pardon me for not having my camera set up the normal way, but my back is just like hurting, so I'm like trying to actually lay on the bed, but yeah. And then you had the shows that, now only one show falls in this category. They Moved. And that distinction goes to Laverne and Shirley. When they moved from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Los Angeles, California, it was over. I mean, literally, when I watch reruns of Laverne and Shirley, I literally stop at the California episode. I don't go any further. I just get to the last Milwaukee episode, and then I start all over again. I cannot watch it. And then they jumped again when Shirley, I think her name was Cindy Williams, rest in peace, left the show because she was pregnant or something like that. And it was just Penny Marshall by herself, who also rest in peace, could not carry a show like that. You needed kind of like that friction. Oh no. Oh no, Laverne and Shirley. No. Once like I said, once they moved to Los Angeles, it was over. Over. Um it was no. 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 Another jump is when characters age. Now, this is something you just can't. We all gonna get older. It's just gonna happen. It's a fact of life. Fact of life. Remind me to go about that show. So what they do is they stick with the same jokes. Like they don't evolve the show. The shows that I'm going to talk about that never jumped, the reason that they never jumped is they evolved with the characters' ages, like their natural ages. They would just naturally give them more storylines, give them more depth, give them more, substance. Some shows, they just kept it the same all the way through, and the jokes kind of got old. Martin is the best example of this. How many 25 gazillion times was I supposed to see Shanae? She wasn't funny the first time I saw her. Like, why is she going to be funny the second time? I mean, they had some funny jokes, but how many times could I hear Pam with the beads? I mean, it's like, stop, like, do something. Like, grow the character, progress the character, do something with the character. You know, naturally you're going to get older, so talk about the challenges of getting older. Don't add a new character. Don't do that. I just didn't. It was like Married with Children's another one. How many times, even though I thought the majority of them were funny, but how many times did Al call Marty a chicken? Like, how many jokes could you talk about? Like, how many times could you do the same joke over and over and over and over and over again? It's like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to do something. Another jump to me is a new love interest comes in. Now, this one is probably not as prominent because I can think of Friends is probably no Friends is the example of they did the whole Ross and Rachel thing, which I thought was completely stupid. Like how stupid was that? Like Ross likes Rachel, but Rachel doesn't like Ross. Or Rachel likes Ross, but Ross doesn't like Rachel. Like, how many times can you spin that story, right? And it's just not good. I mean, that's a jump in itself. I mean, another jump, and again, this only belongs to one show. Okay, no, this belongs to 2 shows that did this. No, 3. No, there's 3 shows that did this. Okay, so this is an old school one. The show started out in black and white, but it went to color episodes. There are 3 that fall into this category. The Andy Griffith Show, the Beverly Hillbillies, and Bewitched. All 3 of those shows were great when they were in black and white. But as soon the day that they jumped to those color episodes, and remember those color episodes, it was like bleh. It was like the color in them. It's not like today where technology is like way, way better. This is like they took the black and white stills and just took paints of color and just like painted it right on the top of them. It just looked terrible. I mean, think about how much better the Beverly Hillbillies was when they were in black and white. Sure, they basically did the same show over and over and over. They did. But it just went down. Once they switched to those color episodes, no, that was a no bueno. I didn't need that. I didn't ask for that. Like I said, I've already talked about the shows that jumped day one. But there are some shows they were already terrible. I already talked about Small Wonder, Homeboys in Outer Space, The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. But when you know a show has to go off, sometimes you don't want to say goodbye to it. And you spin it off into something else. You take a character from the show who everybody really likes, and you decide, you know what? Let's give them their own show. Now, this happened a lot in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Joey, although that show is basically a jump from day one, but I'm putting it under the spinoff category. I don't know who thought that Matt LeBlanc could carry a show by himself. It's like they didn't watch Putting on the Ritz, another show that jumped from day one. The Tortellis, that other spinoff from Cheers that I can't think of, that's not Frasier. Frasier is not on the list of shows that jumped. The spinoffs, plural, of Married with Children, both terrible. Both terrible. Putting on the Ritz and that other one. And they had the same two actors. What was that show that was like the Married with Children ripoff? And it had the talking dog, but he was a puppet. Oh, that show's a day one jump. That show was terrible. I'm trying to think of some other spinoffs. I said the Married with Children spinoffs, the Friends spinoff. The Cosby Show actually reversed. They had a good spinoff in A Different World, so they don't count. The Family Ties spinoff. I forget. Yeah, let me tell you something. So what you should do when this show goes off in a few minutes is go to Google and type in Family Ties spinoff. There was a spinoff with Mallory. Well, Justine Bateman's character had this boyfriend named Mick, Nick, Tom, Harry, Michael, whatever his name was. And he was a painter, sculptor, artist, something. And he got his own spinoff show. Oh, no. The Facts of Life spinoff was terrible. But the king, the heavyweight king, goes to the Golden Palace. Why? Why couldn't they just run off into the sunset? I did not need to see Blanche, Rose, and Sophia, and there's no Dorothy. It was the four of them that worked together, not three of them. I needed all four of them, not missing the main protagonist, because she was the main protagonist. If you go back, you'll see what I'm talking about. She was the main protagonist of the show. And kind of like everybody else kind of sprouted outside of her. And to be missing that, no, Golden Palace. Why did y'all do that? It was like the actors were like saying, you know, we really need some money. And again, sometimes you have to just let it go. And maybe because now they're all four gone. I just thought about that. They ain't gone. But that was still a terrible show, right? That was still a terrible, terrible, terrible show. And you think about it, like I said, you needed all four of them. You couldn't just have, that would be like them doing like Dorothy, Blanche, Rose, and no Sophia. Like you had to have the four of them. They worked, even though apparently they all hated each other, but they really worked well together. Another mini jump is like when an actor leaves the show, for whatever reason. Now, I can't really think of those, so I'm not even going to mention those because I can't think of anything that, trying to think when an actor, like I know Bruce Willis left moonlighting because his movie career had started up. Michael J. Fox left Family Ties. But I think when Michael J. Fox left Family Ties, it was just like, okay, let's take this off. So I can't really count that one. But there are very few shows There are very few shows that never jumped. These shows either unjumped, like they started off terrible, but they ended up great, or they were just great from the beginning. Frasier. Frasier was great from the very first episode to the very last episode. Just funny. The writing was funny. The timing, the comedic timing of oh shoot, Kelsey Grammer, that's his name. And the brother and the radio, oh, just never jumped. Never ever jumped. Another show that never jumped, Seinfeld. Seinfeld never jumped. No, Seinfeld actually unjumped a little bit because the first season, you're like, ooh, because the first season was like, okay, it's funny, ha 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 ha. And then that second to ninth season, oh, second to ninth season was like, yes, this is how you do television writing. This is how you take a comedy that didn't add a child, nobody got pregnant, nobody, I mean, it was like they did everything right in that show. And I particularly enjoyed the last episode. I know some people didn't. I did. I really liked the last episode. I thought it was pretty funny. Also, with a show like Seinfeld, you just didn't have those hangups like you had with other shows. There was never any question of would Elaine get with Jerry. No, that just never, it was never a possibility, right? They just never wrote it in that way. They never wrote in the annoying kid. They never had the misplaced letter. The child is gonna run away. One actor playing two characters, like they're playing their own evil cousin. I mean, it was just like, it just really never ever jumped, in my opinion. All in the Family is another show that just never jumped. Now, I'm not talking about Archie Bunker's Place. I am not talking about Archie Bunker's Place. I'm talking about All in the Family. So once, Sally Struthers and Meathead, I can't think of his name, Rob Reiner, left, they were like, okay, let's go. Show just never jumped. Just never. It was great from the start to the finish. And I know my last one is gonna be controversial. I don't think that I Love Lucy ever jumped. Now, I know what you're going to say, it hit the same 3 plots. But that show has never been off of the air. Ever. You can find that show anywhere, anytime, any place. It's on Pluto, Paramount, used to be on Nick at Night. It never jumped, in my opinion. It was funny from the start. Even when they moved to Connecticut, I was like, well, it's not as funny, but it was still funny, right? That show never jumped. I'm trying to think, like I said, there's so few shows that just never jumped. It's hard for me to name them. I'm trying to think of another one. The Will They Won't They, Who's the Boss? Angela and Tony, they slept together. And then Tony ended up being rich and then quitting to be Angela's maid again. Butler, I guess. But I'm trying to think of shows that never jumped the shark. And this is hard. Because like I said, there's I want to say Big Bang Theory so bad. But I didn't watch this show like that. I mean, I watched it, but I didn't make time out of my schedule. Like, I've got to watch it on, I think it came on Thursdays. Trying to think. Yep, that it came on Thursdays. But there are very few shows that never jumped the shark. Wow. There's just a whole lot. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to think. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of shows that just were they were good from the start and they ended up good. Um, even game shows jumped. Jeopardy jumped when Alex Trebek went to heaven. I mean, I'm just like, well, why am I watching this? Price is Right. Bob Barker's no longer her host. Why am I watching it? Um, I'm sitting here literally trying to think of what show never. I said All in the Family never jumped. I Love Lucy never jumped, and Frasier never jumped. Those are just three, but I thought there would be a whole lot more. Um, Murder She Wrote definitely jumped because it was on like 3 seasons too long. I'm like, because when they got her that word processing machine instead of the typewriter, I'm like, ooh no. Um, Three's Company did the actor leaving, gritting off. She moves, never explains why. Um, Three's a Crowd jumped from day one. The Ropers jumped from day one. I already said Saved by the Bell hit the trifecta. Like they literally had like all of those iterations. I'm like, oh gosh, y'all stuck. Oh, yo. I think I've ran out of shows. I have ran out of shows. So let's hit the comment section. Parker says, yeah, I heard about some happening in the documentary that came out recently about Nickelodeon child actors and what they went through. That was so tragic. I couldn't even watch. I'm like, and the fact that he did, no, don't. Yeah, that was annoying. The Ross and Ray. It was super annoying. That's like what the whole show was based off of. Um, um, Yep, that's the end of the comments too, guys. I'm trying to sit here for 2 minutes so this could be an hour. So remember to like. Please like this. This is going to go in the Patreon room here in a moment. But remember to like. I'm sorry, I'm just going backwards because my back is killing me. I got to get ready for a virtual slumber party, which means I got to dress out of this stuff, get into my night clothes, and then jump on the air again. Like this. Share, comment later or now, either one. But yeah, I thought I would have more terrible shows. Trying to find another one. Quick reminder. The Destroy the Duopoly Awards are December the 14th, 2024 at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like a ballot or to fill out the ballot, I'm going to leave that web address up there. It starts right there at https://bit.ly/3 capital N lowercase 0 no lowercase o is an Oscar I28P. So remember to fill out that ballot. We'll have an award show on the 14th. This is unrelated, but some news came out in the past hour that apparently someone in U.S. Intel leaked documents that reveal part of Israel's plan. I mean, they've been telling everybody that publicly. So that's another show, but thank you for letting me know that. Remember everybody, I will be back on Tuesday. I think Tuesday is going to be Donald Trump's greatest hits. We'll be talking about that. Then Thursday, I'll be back Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Remember, I go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight with congratulations to the 47th President of the United States, Dr. Cornel West. That's not what the show is called. It's actually called Congratulations to the I'm gonna have to get look up my own podcast. Yeah, I know which one I'm talking about. The one I do on Saturday. No. What we gonna do is get the name of my podcast right. Yep, we're gonna get the name of my own podcast. Sitting here and I forgot the name of my own podcast. Congratulations to the 47th President of the United States, Dr. Cornel West. Ha ha ha. That will come on at 7. Remember, that's going to be a shortened show because I have the virtual slumber party to go to. But just keep watching this channel. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to take myself down, play the outro, and we'll see you when we see you. Have a good one.